The people that give Tinubu more votes that have people in power can attract more federal projects. Let us mobilize our people and show support so we can also come to the negotiation table to say that we need something better. The governor of the state, Anambra, he asked the president to include the whole of the southeast states in the national gas pipeline, and the president approved. He said include all the southeast states in national rail plan, and the president said approved. So your interest will be, what can we attract for our people? If we have a road that links Anambra and Kogi that you can get to Abuja instead of flying, if Anambra is connected in the national rail plan, if Anambra has gas pipeline that industries can manufacture, then why do I need to go to Lagos? We must focus on developing our place. As of today, there is only one person that is sure of being on the ballot in the next election, and that person is the President of the Republic of Nigeria. And whether you like it or not, City Boy movement and Abakwao. Rapo Makamboto and social media. The essence of us joining City Boy movement is not to go and collect. How much will you give Obi Cubana? How much will you give people that are involved in the business? You get to a level where money is no longer your motivation. You need beyond that. You need to be able to do more for people. An idea for us is that, what do we want? We need to have a conversation. How do we get it? Let us sit down and understand that you cannot without the help of others.
What do you mean by Obi Cubana is influential? What made him influential?
Okay, good. Let me explain.
What has Obi Cubana done to actually call him an influential Igbo man that can influence in the Igbo?
Okay.
Can you be Megodundi Igbo influential?
First
Go
of
ahead.
all, I know the story very well. Obi Cubana and myself were in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So I can write a book on the man called Obi Cubana. Mm-hmm. He's someone that I can refer to as a rose that grew out of concrete. So it's not like his father was a businessman, his mother was doing this, and he sort of inherited his father's wealth. Mm. This is a man that has been consistent in his business. Obi's business thrives around building people and thrives around his friends. Obi shows up for you. Let me repeat myself. Obi shows up for you. So when Obi is doing something, you will feel the moral burden to show up for him. So if he has any business that he's doing, whether it is hotel or club or housing, people that he has showed up for will also reciprocate. That is his business model. He's done that in such a way that you are, whether we like it or not, Young Content has become very influential. It's not you as a person, but the brand that you have built. Obi Cubana is now a global brand. It's no longer just a Nigerian brand. It's an international brand. If you want to come into Nigeria, you need people that can influence the minds of people towards a product that you're bringing in Nigeria. Obi Cubana is one of them. Any post he makes on Instagram, for example, probably have over 5 million viewers. Any post that Chief Priest makes on Instagram probably have 6 million viewers. Some people may not agree. Some people may disagree with whatever you're trying to sell. But the truth of the matter is that between these two people, they have visibility. And this is the era of visibility. No matter how good you are, if you don't tell the world that you are this, nobody sees you. All right? So I'm saying that he's the kind of person that has also contributed a lot. Go to Oba. The road leading to his house, he did it. He did it with his money. Go to Oba. There are young people. Yes, to his house. He's done it with his money. It's normally provision of infrastructure is the business of government, not that of individuals, everywhere else in the world. So when you also see people that have gone out of, even the one that didn't lead to his house, he also near Merchant of Light, he has also done it. He's also trained young people. There are lots of businesses that have sprung up from his own major businesses. So people can now do businesses that are running by the side as a result of his own business as well. So there are people that are on scholarship, that he has given scholarship, is it churches or whatever. But my point is that it is not an argument that I need to make here that Obi Cubana is influential. Everybody knows that Obi Cubana is influential. Google him, ask a lot of questions about him. Even the Nigerian government knows that he exists. So like I said, when international brands come to Nigeria and they're looking for who to use to be able to show up or be visible or to be able to sell their products, is one of the outlets for that. Today he's the biggest influencer for Samsung in Nigeria. Every edition of Samsung that comes from Nigeria, if Obi Cubana is using Samsung, in fact, he has made some of his friends to start using Samsung. I bought a Samsung phone because of him. I'm an iPhone person, but I mean, you can't be. So that's what influence is about. So as much as you don't believe in President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, for example, if Obi Cubana says he believes in him, it will give you a second thought to begin to think, maybe there's something that he's seeing that you are probably not seeing. So that's the point. So he's got that influence. So the strategy for the South is also to work with people that have influence that are not necessary. So while we, the politicians, are doing our own part, if you look at it, he asked me to be his chief of staff. That's not just what I do for City Boy Movement. I'm also the head of the secretariat. Because these are business people I've been into politics for a long
Secretariat
time.
that is located where?
It's a Southeast Secretariat. It's virtual now, but it will be in Anambra.
Okay, virtual.
Okay. It will be in Anambra eventually. We have an office that we are getting in Anambra here to be able to. So the head of Secretariat means every information that comes from the national is transmitted through my office. While I'm reporting to Obi Cubana to all the state directors of City Boy within the Southeast. I'm also the director of finance of the movement at the zonal level.
And Ibuego.
I am in charge of money because I have a banker.
I'm also an accountant.
I'm also an accountant, so I'm qualified to. I manage money for the movement. Yes, I manage money for the movement. So this is a question. Some people also said, as an ambassador, how can you bring yourself down to become Obi Cubana's chief of staff? But here is the point for me.
Okay.
It's not literally like serving somebody. If you have a friend that has been given responsibility, it's that responsibility has a timeline. Anything you can do to help that person succeed. Like I said, I bring a wealth of experience of financial management. I bring a wealth of experience of political management, understanding what needs to be done. Okay, we need to decentralize this structure from the state to the local government. We need to have zones. We need to have clusters, across polling units, wards, and all of these things. That's our responsibility to help, because this is a new terrain for him. I can't go and become his chief of staff in a business where he's running, where he has more experience than me. But this is a political movement. So those of us in politics that his friend is a new terrain for him. So it is in my place to help him succeed. So that's why we're doing
because man focus on your ceasefire. I see his post. He's asking when are they going to ceasefire.
In fact, there was something that he said, which also he tried to explain that in a BBC interview where he said that people lack knowledge. It was the day
I was going to get there, but
yes, it was the day we went to meet Enugu State Governor, and he was to speak for 3 minutes. So the context for which he was explaining was about political knowledge, not necessarily knowledge in that sense, because he gave the speech in full. He's saying that people lack knowledge politically, that what we are doing is to carry all our eggs. Basket or complain. In politics, to complain for 4 years is a long time. It's a long time. And Obi Cubana herself, onye ọbụla na-esi why jimenka why ịma na onwe mgbe o mecha birthday EFCC kpoli akpọchie na ọzọ lego kwu na etu lego dia ndị anyị na-aba mba na what did they do when they had that information? Do you understand? So you must understand that everything has context, and also try to understand as against no, you have done the wrong thing. No, you have done the wrong thing. What Obi Cubana is not saying, or even City Boy movement in South is not saying that other people should not support movements. Support whoever you want. Create another move. Up front, there was obedient movement. Create another movement. Support anybody you wish to support. But we just ask for that understanding.
Doc, you're a street boy. You want to go? You're a guy. You want to go? You know that when sometimes Maduku and he needs explanation. Explanation makes it worse. And we saw the first statement Obi Cubana made, and a lot of us heard what he said. A lot of us saw the context, and the explanation made it worse for some people because this is what we heard. What I go, Bonaboy say you go explain, tire, no evidence. What I go. So this is the situation, because anything in there that requires explanation every time. Don't you think that you may just do as something now? Am I even on the right track? Don't you think he should do that?
No, let me explain to you. You see, we are running an interview now. You can put a clip where I said one thing and put it out there. People would think that that's exactly what I said without situating the context or listening to what has been said before or after. Do you understand? Just like the Bible, for example.
Yes.
I can give you an instruction on the Bible. Suffer not the witch to live means kill a witch. But there is something that was said before that. And there's also something that was said after that.
Yeah.
So it's always important to have the context. It's not explanation. Like I said, here is my understanding of politics. And we know that everybody knows that. Baba, if I don't like you politically, there is nothing you say that will make me like you. Do you understand? If I like you politically, even your mistakes, I will justify it for you. Do you understand? So the explanation getting worse is not necessarily because people are actually not even listening to what he's saying. Do you understand? The problem I see is that social media
listening to attack, or maybe listening to reply, not even to understand.
Exactly, not even to understand. Because I said to people, go if you want that video, I'll make it available to you. It's a 3 minutes video. You listen to it from beginning to the end, so you can understand the situation. Like I said, You can extract something I've said here, just one word, and put it out there, and people will see it and they will think that that's exactly what is going on. So social media is awash with misrepresentation, and that's the fact. But like I told you, take nothing away from this. We are part of City Boys. Some people in the Southeast have been empowered.
City Boy.
Some people, we're part of City Boy movement. Some people in the Southeast have already been empowered by government programs. We are doing well in getting this information to the grassroots, because for us, it's not about who becomes president. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu may become president in 2027, even if he doesn't. There are budget that has been run. Monies have been given out for small and medium enterprises to trade with.
Doc, are we not tired of this empowerment that comes just a year or two before election? You're talking about this empowerment. Now, this is just a year before election. Why? This is the same route that just a year. People are tired. Don't you think so that another thing should be done? Another way should be every time an election, just a year before election, empowerment.
Okay.
Don't you think it's politically motivated and then it is not organic?
No, I agree with you. It's if that's the perspective you look at it. But in empowerment, no way. It's not rice. Let me say this very clearly. There are people that saw things that were there and they thought it's rice. But when they carried it, they found out that it was fertilizers. It's what we call farm inputs, and it was actually brought there for farmers. The things we are giving out, buses, laptops, they are not like bribes, for example. It doesn't make you... I can give it to you if you choose to vote for another person. Please go ahead and vote for the person.
It's an inducement.
The truth... No, it's not inducement. It's not inducement because at my level, I also have political maturity to understand that people will eventually make up their mind. It's not inducement. If they like, people have voted... what is his name? Momodu. Dele Momodu ran for president. He left his house with his wife and children. They got there after voting. He had only one vote. So who voted for who? Do you understand? So it happens. So it's not don't look at it from that perspective. But again, even if you think it is inducement that I'm trying to induce, what about the government policies exposing it to our people who are ignorant about it to know about it and get benefit of it? What about that? So whether you get anything from government or not, they will run the budget and they will spend the money elsewhere. If you don't want it, they will take it to another state to spend it. This is a national... People pay taxes here. Companies pay tax that are located in Abra State, pay taxes that goes to the federal government. So if there are roads, if there is any kind of infrastructure that will attract for our people to be able to get the presence of government, why shouldn't we do that? If you have somebody in your village that you know the person has written Jambi has passed, his father is poor, his mother is poor, he needs to know that he can go to school without knowing anybody. You can have a small girl. You don't need for any man to take advantage of you simply these are government programs. So how about explaining to our people that they can also look at it, okay, these are the things governments are doing before we can actually... Sometimes, when we have when we wine, so sometimes you will take something. A gift of a man makes way for him. It's also in the Bible. Ijebe for bishop, ijebe for pastor. Ijebe for pastor, image something well say biko nekwa ihe nji we bata. Ihe uji mmanya no we so ije kwa aka si ibata si ogo nwoke na nwekwa na ihe fu bia na achọ m eno gị. O ga den anya nwekwa ife iji we bia ka o jiri we. So ihe akpa inducement. Mmanya ijide dị ajekwa ka inducement go. How do you analyze it? Exactly. So, ihe mekwa na empowerment be ha ka okwa. I bia kwa aka.
You were there. Yes. Some of us were not there. Yes. So, I be anogide fuka okute na fly. Wata fuka na enwere audiness. Ka na piawara mmadụ isi unu jesha ikwu okwu. Is it a total rejection of the movement in Owerri? It seems like ko bu na egbudu oge we ka ihe mbi ike. What happened? Because it's just our own people's way of doing things.
No.
Owerri,
I did a 3-day event. Mm-hmm. All right. The first day was arrival. Everybody came in. The team from the National City Boy Movement came in. All of us flew in. Mandisi Lagos, Mandisi Enugu, the leaders came together. And the second day was a visit to the hospital, when hospital, Sheiga, Owerri, Jejefunde Aradero and all of that, paid some bills and all of that, went and met with the governor, what governor high and achievement, etc., etc. Then used that second day to get young people that are working for this federal government to come and explain to Ndebai what they are doing in their offices. The MD of Southeast Development Commission was there. The MD of Smedan was there. The MD of Niger Power Holding Company was there. The MD of Raw Material and Research Development Agency was there. So if you ever held any position, SSAs to the president that are from the Southeast were all invited to come and talk to the people what they are doing in their office and how our people can benefit from it. So that's what the second day was about. So it wasn't a governor come, it was about people we know that are our own, working for government, telling us what they are doing in their offices and how their actions or activities or policies can become beneficial to us. So it was a very good event. The third day was where we now lined up close to 2,500 items that we wanted to share to people, ranging from shuttle buses to fertilizer farm inputs, to sewing machines, to deep freezers, to generators, to those that are into tech, and mobile phones that we wanted to give out to people. And then there were also those that were supposed to benefit in cash grants. We have market women support. We also have small business support that will give us grants to people. So the idea for us originally was start to share the lighter items. And then all of these other bigger ones, we brought trucks that were to take them for the beneficiaries and take them to their states so that they can go to their state and share, because Obori Bunyan Mad Freezer. So that
was a Southeast event, not a state event?
No, it's not a Southeast, it's a Southeast event.
Okay.
So we invited people, every beneficiary. Anambra had 535 beneficiaries. Imo had about 600. Enugu had about 426. Abia had about 426. And Ebonyi had 385. And this is how we shared it. We tried to ensure that every ward and local government got beneficiaries. Every local government in Anambra had 23 persons that were to benefit from that. So we did it in such a way that whatever has been brought will get to everybody. And we shared it on the basis of the number of local governments that we had in the Southwest, which is 95. All right? Imo has 27. Anambra has 22. Abia and Enugu has 17 local governments, and Ebonyi has 13 or 14 local governments. So that is how we shared that everybody will get about. So every local government will get about 23 to 24 beneficiaries. And all of them were to come there. So when we see them, you are sure that what your part, the thing is, the idea is, maybe some people argued, carry them to the states and share, but you know how empowerment things are. You make a bunye 50 shuttle buses, or also 10 at the location. So we wanted to be able to see the people that are the beneficiaries and now help them transport those things to their. It was a very well planned
They came
event.
physically.
Everybody was there. So, but what happened was that the locals, again, the people that came to the venue were more than the number of people that were beneficiaries. And we also didn't make adequate plan for those people. Do you understand? So it was a situation where laptop. Do you understand? So
and it was open for everyone to come.
And it was a big event. So at some point, people became worried. So because of that crowd, the surge actually entered. And again, Onyeagba near laptop. He doesn't leave the venue. Kind of when he made the place. And it was planned for everybody to be able to get something, But the non-sensible locals obviously overpowered the thing, but they were not an angry crowd. They were also not a violent crowd. Everybody was trying to see what they can get. So they also went and got something and carried and ran. So that confusion you saw. And when it happened, the instruction from the patron, no, don't shoot, don't even throw tear gas. Allow them take anything that they want to take, so that we don't record the fatality. Imagine I met Alia and say na madongo, if Onyeagba Jiokuma and all of that. So he tried to say no police. Allow people to take whatever they want to take.
Is that not a pure evidence of hungry people, that people are actually desperate and hungry, that when they see anything that looks like something that will benefit from, they don't even wait to be called, they just pounce?
No,
it's not an evidence that
Onyeagba will always collect whatever you have. It doesn't matter whether you call them for a rally or not. A hungry person, don't forget go na go mijide bread now. My brother, I will take that bread off your hand. But like I said, that event was, we admitted that in the planning, maybe it wasn't a good idea to have displayed all of that. They were always going to get to people. The things that were brought were not going to go back to wherever they came from. Like we said, there are people that had come. Maybe it would have been better to have taken it to the states. Maybe it would have been better to allow people that would have come into the venue to be only the beneficiaries. So,
people need crowd.
You'll be able to.
People wants to show that people came now.
No, that's not really. It was Hero Square, where it's like a stadium. So it's not like you can block people to say, don't enter, don't enter. Maybe the best thing would have been, these things are going to Anambra, carry them to Anambra, let the beneficiaries come. Maybe that would have been a better strategy as well. But like I said...
So you admitting that there was no...
No, they were planning for... No, I do not belong... I'm a diplomat, so in my level, I would not admit where we haven't gone. There were, obviously. But again, it's also happy people because so basically people are looking for, like I said, people saw rice bags that look like rice, so it just take your own fertilizer, maybe your own fertilizer 100 or go to 5,000 but it's also a testament to the fact that City Boy also became attractive, because if they were hostile to City Boy, City Boy why were they there? They were also there because they felt that it's something that they can also identify with. Or maybe that there was also plan for that kind of accommodate everybody. No, that's what I'm saying. Yes, so that's beautiful. So the beautiful thing here is that City Boy has something that people think that they can get out of it.
Which every election year, people wait for such things.
So what we are trying to do now...
Which is not a very good one.
No, it is a very good one, to be honest. Like I said, government name, that can be beneficial.
You cannot you cannot teach people ihe government ebe have their ekelo rice na laptop.
Cha ndị Igbo ekene unu. It is with deep sense of excitement that I bring to you this great announcement of a unique event which is set to happen in Ali Igbo, Anambra State precisely. On the 27th of June 2026, Mars Magazine International, in collaboration with Pine Leaf Estate and Properties Limited, will be celebrating their 23 years of excellence in journalism. This celebration comes with charity gala and award night for the distinguished individuals in Ali Igbo who are beacons of light and hope to this generation. The venue of the event is at Stanel Dome, Oka, Anambra State. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo Oluwatogu, will receive Mars Man of the Year award, while Chief Alto Eze Ozigbondo will be the father of the day. Clear your schedules as we look forward to this epoch-making event coming on the 27th of June 2026. Remember, time 5 p.m.
That is why we did it a day before. No, that is why we did it a day before.
I saw a day before. Those people that came to Ikelo Rice they were not in the hall, and don't they need that education in Yoku that they don't know policies of the government. Or let
me tell you.
South is because they are not in a hall, but elite and then professionals. I saw some of the pictures.
No, not true. You can see pictures, but we also restricted the events because the hall has a capacity that it can take. So we restricted the events. There were people that SMED and had trained that were supposed to be beneficiaries that we invited for that event. There were people, we actually took people from across the states of the Southeast. The event hall contain 1,000 persons. So you don't want 3,000 inside there, otherwise it will become another chaos. So we have trained, we have explained to the people. So message, do you understand my point? But again, getting to field. Don't worry, today. If you want to give people something, there will be more people that will come. So it's not like you will do anything that will be enough for everybody. And that's why I believe that the intention is what you, and you made mistake somewhere. Like I said, if we had decentralized this and say, don't let everybody get their own things from their states. Na 2,500 items that were given out to people. We can ask them no audio. We can ask them no audio. Yeah. But seeing is believing. At least people saw that there were things that were really brought out for people. Yeah. This is even the beginning. We have not stopped yet. More things are going to be shared within the City Boy movement. And just fasten your seatbelt and wait.
Obi Cubana, it seems that Ndi Igbo is actually entitled to him. I don't know why that is. Indeed? Entitled, let me explain what I mean. Entitled in such a way that they believe that he should do this and not do that. Remember last year that, or one time that Peter Obi was contesting for anything, and people were asking him why is he not supporting this Peter Obi, that he came to give his normal Thursday motivational speech, dear young youth. If you remember that post, yes, people came to me and said, why are you not saying anything about this man's he gets and everything? And now he has joined City Boy Movement, and his comment section used to be a very wonderful place to, comment, hail him. But now people are still firing him because of his choice and everything. Why do you think that Ndi Igbo somehow wants to, let him know where he needs to be, and where they are always coming for him whenever he takes decision that they don't want? That's what I mean by Ndi Igbo feel entitled to his opinion and his choices. Okay. Why do you think it's like that?
Thank you very much. Let me explain. In politics, then we cycle. After this cycle, I'm sure people will probably not even remember what happened in politics. The question I'll ask everybody that has that entitlement: Obi, that I know, supported Peter in the last elections. Rapo Makano could that day or not. Vita visited him and all of that.
He did?
The question, yes, Peter visited his house. But the question for me is, Emeda anga Okulo Bendi Bucho Okulo at that election, for example, and his business suffers as whatever happens to him, what exactly would they be saying? Do you understand my point? I think what we need to understand is that Obi's decision is not enough to make anybody president in Nigeria. Him as a person, it is not enough to make anybody president. As a matter of fact, if every Igbo man supports an Igbo person to become president in Nigeria, the person will still not be president. Because the way the country is structured is that you require partnership. You must work with somebody. We have 6 geopolitical zones in the country. 1 cannot produce president. 2 cannot. 3 cannot. You need at least 4. And that 4 means that you will either have all the Souths working together and getting 1 from the North, or you have 4 from the North working together. And how did they? It's always good. While I talked about history in the other, when we're talking about Enugu and Nuri, in Nigeria, it's always good to also read politics a little bit, read a little bit of history. How did Buhari become president of Nigeria? Forget whether he has done well or not. No, it was just because he saw that in every election he sleeps with 12 million votes in his pockets. But it is not enough because it was just a northern agenda. The North was not able to make Buhari a president. He won on his 4th try. He ran as ANPP, he ran as CPC, and still couldn't make it until he realized that working with another set in the Southwest, that is what made him president. It was the North, 3 of them in the North working with Southwest, leaving out South, and Southeast to vote for PDP. That's how they became president. So the question for us should be, what do we need to do to create that alliance? Today, do we have South-South? Today, do we have Southwest? Today, do we have Northeast? Do we have Northwest? Do we have North Central? Where is that alliance? So it's important that that this is what needs to happen. And that's why our work is also to continue to engage and explain to people. Before you produce a president in Nigeria, you need at least 4 geopolitical zones coming together, and you can only come from 1. And the person, you may expect that support.
Yes.
This is a no-brainer.
Yes.
Superiority complex is also a problem for us. Because there's a need to also understand that other people will opinion which have to be respected. I can disagree with you on matter of principles. I can say I'm not supporting who you are supporting, but we don't need to fight about it now. Why should somebody go to the extent of insulting Obi Cubana's children? They will die. They will do this one just on his political choice. Why should that be? Obi Cubana's choice is vote. Absolutely no. We must learn political tolerance, and it's very important and it's very respectful. It's very important.
Intolerance is a problem in this.
You cannot continue to insult people. See, let me tell you, somebody take a political call law off his business. What have you actually done? 2 rights does not, or 2 wrongs should not even make it. If you think that he has taken, why don't you stay on your lane? Okay, this is your position. I respect your decision. I'm sure you know what Tunde Ednot said. Oh, all my people are with these people, but I respect them, but I can't say anything against them. This life is about relationship. It's about building relationship. And for whatever relationship you have, you see, the more you go, you ascend, even the network or the quality of people you relate with thins out. Therefore, you also do things on a strategic basis. Sometimes it's not about, like I said, how much money does an Obi Cubana require? How much cars can he drive? Is it government that have brought him to this level where he is today? Absolutely no. Can government destroy you or stop you from progressing? The answer is what? Yes. Can government in a law? Or so even the government does not make law. They can also make a policy. Something, for example, like if I have a beef with you, and I'm the revenue generating agency of this state, I can say, please go and audit Yambaba for the past 10 years. I don't know whether he has been paying appropriate tax. I'd audit the tax again when 1 billion naira equals equal tax. What will you not pack this business and run away? Do you understand? So government can fight you. So many politics trumps everything in a country. And that's why I told you that it is difficult. During Obasanjo's tenure, Dangote, Tony, Elumelu, Otedola were part of campaign movements.
They were?
Yes, they were.
Physically?
Absolutely. Their names will come out that they're in this committee, they're in this committee. Yes.
They were putting their faces out there.
Absolutely. Quote me right.
Because I was about to ask you that I've not seen Dangote coming out physically to campaign for anybody.
During PDP's time, as a matter of fact, even this government, do you know the first place that President Asiwaju visited after he was declared the president? Do you know the first person he went to meet?
Tony.
Exactly. Why? Why? Because he supported him.
Collaboration.
Exactly. So as against seeing this as against our interest, this is not, let me tell you, my brother, you can be my friend and you can be in power and I will not benefit anything. Let me explain to you again. There is no correlation. Now I'm going grammar-wise now. But a state can produce presidents, but it can still not translate to dividends of democracy for them. And I'll give you a very simple example. Niger State has produced more presidents than any state in the history of Federal Republic of Nigeria, whether as military or as civilian. The quality of infrastructure and indeed insecurity in Niger State today is also worse than you can think about in any other place. Katsina is the next in number, have produced more number of presidents, second one, than any other state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. How is insecurity in Katsina today? So there are also no guarantees that Yambaba is my friend from Anambra State, he can become president, that Anambra State can now become better as a result of Yambaba's. No. The question is leadership. The question is, what can you do for your people? And remember that even when you become president, you are no longer a president of your state or of your tribe. You have become a president of a Federal Republic of Nigeria with different religions, with over 250 tribes, with 36 states, with 774 local governments, with too many interests, business and otherwise to deal with. So it is even difficult that you will find it difficult to even see your family members, not to talk about dealing with issues that come from your state. So it's not a direct thing or an assurance that once we have an Igbo presidency, therefore all our problems are solved. Examples are there to show that it doesn't always work that way.
But let's have it first.
You will get it, but it's important that in your trying to have it, understand that you need an alliance. That's the point I'm trying to make. You cannot have it because you desire to have it. You have to understand that before. And how can you even decide? How would you know what is right? Just study history. How did Ojukwu at some point came back from after his exile, came back and supported the Northerners to become president?
Yes.
Ojukwu has also run for president. Why didn't Igbo people vote for him? And not just that, how did Obasanjo become president? He even lost in his polling unit, but the North decided that he was going to be the president. How did Yar'Adua become president? How did Goodluck become president? How did Buhari become president? How did Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu become president? You must have collaboration. If you don't have collaboration, you can't succeed. And if you also continue to insult people, then your ability to collaborate is questionable. Because what you're saying is that you're more superior to people. I have a friend, Buhari, is from Kano. He usually tells me that anytime he begins to think that he is now more superior to me in understanding, he begins to question his own self. Even if you think that people are stupid, you don't rub it on their faces. Mm-hmm. In any case, why would you even think that you are better or you are smarter than the next person?
Yes.
Why would I come into this room and thinking that I'm smarter than you? Why would I have that kind of posturing? So we think we are the best in everything, but and like I told you, like I always advocate, J primary school na Ekwulobia. J Oko Polytechnic. Serve on Onitsha. You are limited in your understanding as to how Nigeria operates.
Yes.
J primary school na Ekwulobia. J Oko Polytechnic. May youth service na Onitsha. Also go to Abule Enugu. You can't see Nigeria beyond what is around you. That's why they introduced youth service. So that you can go to another place. And I can tell you, having lived and worked in northern Nigeria, having lived and worked in western Nigeria, I can tell you the strengths and weaknesses of every. Let me tell you, if you see an Hausa man anywhere and speak his language, he falls in love with you. Do you understand my point? That's why they always do business with us. They feel very comfortable. How do you even feel when somebody that's not an Igbo person greets you in Igbo language? So, do you understand the point? So, that's how you build alliances. I was trained in top world business schools by a northerner, not even a brother from
the East.
So, it's not all that gloomy. When we paint the picture that we know this, we know this, we know this. No, there are people that also know better than us, that can do better than us in so many other areas. And that's why you require that collaboration. So, that's why I always tell people, if you haven't traveled wide, you're even within the country, I haven't said travel out of the country, get to Benue State, understand how I did a lot of, my father was a pastor, so we did a lot of road trips. Sometimes, I went to Medugri, moti maybe in Abauchi, or park ya the motor na ben mad, bonyo omara, one motor jet up unkozo. So Nigerians are not all the bad people. In fact, all other tribes are not all bad. There are tribes in Nigeria that they love to welcome people. Do you understand my point? So that's why you need to understand that you need to gain their trust. You continue now, you are basically not gaining their trust.
Are we being too emotional as Indibo? We will play politics of emotions. Do you think that
I think
we're too emotions?
It's your
emotional
guess,
rather.
Your guess is as good as mine. Because again, we fought the civil war with Nigeria. All right? What did we learn from it? Did we learn that there could be a better negotiation other than fighting?
They brought the war to us.
Ojukwu, wait, hold on. Ojukwu declared, once you declare secession, once you declare a republic within a republic, you've already called for war. That's what it means. Because you have taken a territory. So whether they brought it to you or you took it to them, that's not the issue. But the question is, we were complaining that 30,000 Igbos were massacred in the north, but we lost 3 million in the 3 years war. So weigh them. Which one makes, isn't there another alternative? But again, what exactly is the learning point? Because if something happens to you, you're supposed to learn from it. Did we learn food security? Part of the things, actually hunger killed more people during the Nigeria-Biafra civil war than even the bullets. Caritas that was giving us food, a Catholic from Italy that was giving us food here, our leaders then marshaled them and said we were going to kill them, that they were doing this and that, and they stopped giving us food, and 2 million people died as a result of Kwashiorkor. So, have we learned that we need to now develop our place in such a way that we can guarantee food security? At least farm what you can eat without bringing. If you go to any market in Anambra State today, I guarantee you that at least 60 to 70% of food items that are up there for sale were not produced in this state. Is it beans? Is it onions? Is it tomato? Is it rice? Is it yam?
Cucumber.
Is it cucumber? How many of them are we producing?
Watermelon.
So we have fought a civil war. We still don't understand that there's a need for the economies of the Southeast to have food security. We have fought a civil war. We still don't understand that you cannot move out if you do not have water bodies. We still don't understand that there's a need to do internal infrastructure. Somehow, between all the states, everybody's just developing their places in silo. Do you understand? So that's the question. Now, let's take it to politics. What did we learn from 1999 elections? We worked with the North to produce Obasanjo. What did we learn from the election? What did we learn even in 2015? We went into a partnership with the North, and the North decided to work with the North, and we lost. We started complaining since then. What did we learn? How did we apply that learning? How should that affect the conversation we're having today? Things should happen. You go back to a little bit of history. How can we do these things better? First, we need to come to the reality that we cannot be president without the help of other people. And that's what I'm saying. Obi Cubana 20, 30. All of us can decide to vote to where an average Igbo person wants us to vote, and we will end up losing. So what exactly have we done? Do you understand my point? So the strategy is Isagara or was Aga. if on the Hausa man politics, they belong to different political parties. If on the Yoruba man politics, you go in the Southwest now, the governor for your state is still in PDP. Do you understand? So they are not everywhere at the same time. Oh, Nka Agaro. That's why you see Yoruba land is where a husband can be a Muslim, the wife will become a Christian. Abba Salah, Atano, Igba Christmas. It's happening in the office in the first family. For a man to be president and married to a Christian pastor and they do all these celebrations, it tells you something about that's a culture of tolerance. Here in Igbo land, I know a family that decided that their neighbor, their same villages cannot marry because they are Anglican and Catholics. Oh, album night in a Catholic church, joy somebody when Anglican come. How can I explain it? In the same village, they can't still get married as a result of religious disagreement.
Intolerance.
Not to talk about political intolerance and the political disagreement. Yes. So my point is that once things are happening, because Biafra, no Biafra, wetenka. Do you know that some people feel that they are first-class citizens of Biafra? Do you know that there are people that will still classify as Ndebo second and third citizens? Do you know the problem between the ethics and the BBOs, what they have again? Do you know that even the judge does not think that we can be together? So we have just decided to draw a map and brought people and we are claiming that we must be together with them when they don't even agree with some of the things that we believe in. Do you understand? So it's important to argue from the point of view of knowledge. It's important to argue from the standpoint of information, because once you lay out all this information, the first question is the conversation we need to be having, and that's why I feel that the Igbo needs to have a very difficult conversation among themselves. How do we? First is that we need to ensure that our place is safe. We need to do whatever it takes. Government resources will not be enough to develop our Igbo. State governments and resources are not enough. Even individual governments are not enough. Because whatever you can do as an individual, government can do it times 100 and in a very short period of time.
At a blink of the eye.
At a blink of the eye. So if you have an opportunity to work with that government to bring it to you, you have done everything. Imagine a government coming to your village in Aba to do a university. Do you know what that university, Federal University of something, they just cite it in Aba? You know what it means for
Every election victory begins with a good media projection and visibility. For this reason, BAM Interview has created this campaign space for all our political candidates to reach out to Ndibo and convincingly tell them why their votes should be in your favor. Hurry now, contact the numbers on your screen today. Let's take you a step closer to your victory.
You know what it means for Onyelolo, Onyenwe BQ? Do you know what it means for Ndinele Rice and around that place? All of a sudden, every other place opens up. So that should be the focus. So once you understand that the involvement in this, whether Bola Tinubu wins or not, because there is time for policy, there's also time for governance. I am of the All Progressives Congress, APC. So I will always support my party candidate, irrespective of wherever he comes from. In the states here, I will not come out openly and say I'm supporting the governor. But that doesn't mean that when it comes to governance, if he seeks for my opinion or what I think about certain things, I'm just coming from Unizik now where we talked about government policy. And I give my views as to how I think the government, what policies I think the government can implement to better this. It's about governance now. And it's about all of us. It's no longer about interest. He will be the governor for the next 4 years. So if I have any contribution to make for the development of the state, why wouldn't I make it? I will go and say, no, I'm not interested though, because that's the same thing we're doing in Nigerian politics. Because the person you want to be president is no longer president, therefore, nobody should say anything. Nobody should be part of anything. And all of that. But Nigeria doesn't work that way.
It doesn't.
So the question is, if you want to produce presidents, sit down and make alignment and build friendship. Have a handshake across the Nile. That's where you start to build the trust. It's a trust building process. Don't forget the history we have in this country. Like I said, Ogini na-ese. Ihe na-ese na 1966 bụ na ndị Hausa feeling na ndị Igbo nọ na military wanted the 5 majors, 1 Yoruba person and 4 Igbo person, and killed their people in the north. They killed Sajwana. They killed the Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa in cold blood. Igbo and the Igbo na Igbo everybody na Igbo was the side that in Igbo. Or that's also on the side that Igbo. So there's already distrust. Therefore, Magu Yironsi president. Ndị a wanite enwe mutin na whatever ha jebu Agu Yironsi bukwonya in a counter coup. Now the explanation as to what happened, you can argue whether it is right or wrong, but this is the starting of the problem. So yes, exactly. So after the civil war and all of that, in addition to all of this happening, Ojukwu declared that there will now be secession, or exactly, MAQ, Mecha Q, ndị MAQ, kwuo na Onyeagba abụ president, commander in chief. Ojukwu Timba, sito onye ọzọ. And abala onye jegbe mba. Do you understand? And that's how this is our journey. And that's why I'm saying at every point in time we need to have a new Igbo generation of people that are intelligent enough to question, to interrogate the past and find a way to draw lessons from it so that we can be better in the future. Asị na agadi nwaanyị daa na abụọ.
Ogwefo bụ
n'okpo ọnụ. Anyị adago, dakwasị, anyị agụgo. Anyị dị interested. Ego ha bụ n'okpo ọnụ ka anyị continue kwa na-emekwa the same thing anyị na-eme. Enyi, we are all moving in the same direction. Anyị dakwa, anyị bidokwa the same course. We've done it in 2015. We did it in 2019. We did it in 2023. Are we going to do the same thing in 2027? Like I said, enye ndị ebe a.
Ndị Igbo na-ajụ.
Unu nwa chọrọ ịnọ ịsọpọtụ onye ọzọ, sọpọtụ ọnụ ha. Ndị village movement nọ. Ndị city boy nọdụkwa, ada ama. So that onwe ka ndị village boys wee win ya, anyị si n'aka ha na-enweta ihe. Onwekwa ka ndị city boys wee win ya, anyị sikwa n'aka ndị city boy na-enweta something. Onwe dị ka na-eme.
Esi na city boy should be likened to Obedient movement and everything. My name on Obedient movement didn't come from Peter Obi. Peter Obi nọrọ onwe Obido organically. Mana just like you said, Sheyi Tinubu spearheaded the city boy movement. Nwa the sitting president. I don't think they should be liking. I don't think it's the same thing. One started out of the person they involved. One started from the person they involved.
Well, that's your perspective of it. I do not think that.
They are the facts.
No. Again, it's 6 and 9. Remember.
Okay.
It is possible. It is possible that people took an idea. I can bring an idea to you, and then the idea gets bigger when you start the implementation. Do you understand? It's not just City Boy. There's also Tinubu is fixing Nigeria, relax. There's a lot of movements that are available. People come up with ideas during political campaigns. Right now, if I indicate interest, I'm running for something. People will call me with a lot of ideas. No, you can try this. No, you can try this. No, you can do this. Yes, you can. It happens. Do you understand? So it's not about whether, but the point is that it's a movement. What is a movement? Group of people that have come together and they're expanding in number. So Obedient movement, whether it started with Obi, it was named after him. It is about Obi's interest. It's about Obi becoming president. That is the objective. City Boy movement is about the president, about Bola Ahmed Tinubu becoming president. It is the same thing. Another movement can come. There's the shared movement which believes that they are not even governed by the law of Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are a part of the Islamic community, and then they also do whatever it's a movement. Once you have them, you start small and people are growing in number. The question is, what is the objective to what point? So like I said, it's not even an issue of let us compare or let us not compare. The idea for us is to understand, what do we want? We need to have a conversation. What does Igbo people want? We want to it's not presidency that is, or presidency in Esoku. Then how? Can we have a real conversation as to how? How do we get it?
The route.
Exactly. What is the route? What's the pathway? Let us sit down and understand that you cannot without the help of others. So if we cannot without the help of others, do you mandate others to support you? Or do you align? Or do you, whatever you need to do, building bridges. Mmadụ sị gị na unu nọ na partnership every day ọ na-akpọ gị ihe na-emara ihe na-eme. How do you see that person?
But I think if you look at Peter Obi's if na Odeka bridges you'll be seeing Obi Kwankwaso and all those bridges. Don't you think that we are towing the right path now as Igbo?
I have nothing wrong with that. But you see, as at today that I'm speaking to you, there is only one person that is sure of being on the ballot in the next elections. And that person is the President of the Republic of Nigeria. You know why? Because Omoro has also your primaries. Obi, Kwankwaso, Atiku, El-Rufai, Rotimi Amaechi, Atiku, Arebeshola, all of them need to sit down and agree on who will become their presidential candidate.
Which they have not.
So until they get who is running, we will know how. So don't blame anybody for taking it. You can't tell me to support somebody from. I like I said, I'm a card-carrying member of the All Progressives Congress. Yes. And I worked as an ambassador in APC. It's not about whether I worked or whether. My intention is to, what you do in politics is to support the candidate of your party. That's what makes you a true party man. Even if I want to go back and do anti-party or do all that, I have to see, is when we get to the bridge, we will cross it. Yes. So if I take a stand today, do not blame me because I've taken a stand on the basis of the facts that are before me. ADC does not have a presidential candidate. So anybody that wants P2B, anybody that wants P2B to be president or should join ADC and ensure that they take part in making him the presidential candidate of ADC. It is not
As
the
simple as
responsibility
that.
of
And you
me
respect that as
and I respect whatever
as an
choice that they
opposition
have.
too.
Yes. No, not as opposition. No. I'm not. We are the ruling party. I'm opposition in this state.
Yes, I mean, Onyeagba against you.
Yes.
You are more like an opposition to the person.
No, absolutely. So when we head in Jordan, so when we're saying as against even economy or bam or the emotional,
Economy will not get us there.
understand it that people will make choices. It's like iwe na Aisha ije nota oburu onye kwesi na akpoghi iyi n'enu ya. No, no matter how we disagree about it, I will respect that you have made your choice.
Yes.
I've made my choice. So live with it. Learn to live with it.
Probably not the quacker. Some people are now avoiding the city boy movement as if more leprosy. You watch your friends say Obi Cubana. I don't think E-Money has come out to do anything. Some of these guys, Vintage and everybody. Then after enviable interview with BBC of recent, and Nigeria Iso. Iso na city boy called Isoro. He was finding it difficult to even also. Also na okoro ada career mob na onye carry okoro ada akoya. No, that he was leading the way to Ebonyi State. Ajoya Iso called Isoro. That's mean Isoro. So Kenyan men or they some people are now or no cold feet, or no lukewarm, konde bu non-offense. Some people are
no, I think let me explain this. City Boy is the biggest support group for Bola Ahmed Tinubu's election. Oboros on the Southeast Code. As a matter of fact, City Boy is in the 774 local government in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, down to the ward level. That structure is that big. All right? Everybody na rebel online were right to do so. But what I also tell the people, it is not enough to rebel online. I see a lot of people that are outside the country. They use it as content to be able to promote their page. Man, and they are PVC. They are to vote on an election day. Vote on a can to By the way, Anambra, Imo, Abia, Ebonyi, Enugu, put all of that vote together. We don't produce 3 million votes in an election. 2 states in the north will cover all those votes. That's why partnership is important. And that's why information is key.
Yes.
Again, coming to the point of the Madi Desert City Boy movement, absolute majority of the na afwada to one votes. You have participated in a political process. I am mandate now to vote. All wine on a village now to vote. On Obi Cubana, all some youth now to vote. When we go, we keep one line for 2 hours. I'm going to actually now where on a cook or 2 vote. Do you understand my point? So it's not about whether they are living or whether they are not living. I can tell you that as the secretariat to City Boy Southeast and as chief of staff to Obi Cubana, even lecturers, a lot of people flood my timeline wanting to be part of what we are doing. Because, again, everybody won't be part of it. The fact that we are friends does not mean that I agree with you on your political choice. The fact that we work together doesn't mean we have to be friends. Do you understand my point? When we put guys together, I made the business. It doesn't mean that I want you to. Abroad, in America, for example, a husband can be a Republican, the wife can be a Democrat. They go and vote, red, blue. No problem at all. This is the only place in the world where we don't understand political choices. This is the only place where we can say, no, we don't. Why should you do what you're doing? No, it shouldn't be like that at all. So, City Boy movement, like I said, is the biggest support group for Bola Ahmed Tinubu in this next election. And they are across the 36 states, they are across the 774 local governments of the Republic of Nigeria, and down to the ward level. Like I said, him decide they should not be what you want me to decide. Or rather, I will not decide what you want me to decide. I'm responsible. Everybody that is an adult have a decision to take. So if once I take down my decision, the only reason one thing I expect from you is to respect my decision. And like I said, even if you don't agree with me, do your own.
Can you Ebemonso na keep as from news also na the Igbo big boys and city boy are city fools, That's Ebemonso. Okay, are you guys fools according to him? What's your response?
I'm gonna give you no cookie so
you don't sound like one.
No, or not. But again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And I'm not a one that will judge or criticize any clergyman. It doesn't matter whether I agree with what they're saying or not. I leave them to whatever they believe in, it's okay. And I won't even respond back to say you're right or you're wrong. But again, I believe that by our fruits, you will know whether you're ilu Enugu Vukitane, John the village mama be fool or not. Ilu Oba, John the youth Oba, Obi Cubana be fool or not.
Yes.
At the end of the day, every politics is local. I will not be responsible for Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vote in your village. On a village in Koga, to vote. On an election day, you can only vote in one polling unit. So you say Bola Tinubu may win. I be on my polling unit. Come on, win. Come on, may win. And then they vote. Now they vote because of him. But we room mad can afo. We vote. Okay, Onyeagba lead. Okay, Onyeagba megola yenka. Okay, Onyeagba capacity menka. Oga ke hit choka eme. They back ije to akwa heje dia je to. That's how politics works. So overall, a matter of people's opinion and all of that. So but like I said, the training we have is to respect people's opinion. Because Nana want me as a city boy movement member does not mean I need to respond that way. So when they go low, we go high.
If you come back, that is Obi Cubana. I know you actually facilitated that wonderful coronation in Enugu. I'm Akaidi. I'm kind of from idea. If you really now Obi Cubana for real, but if you come back, I was say I can join a page here because he's a man I actually admire and love. I like him close to follow his business and everything. Ntuchalia if you go jikale say otago ndị mmadụ ebe na conversation when I come on same no na family m ka ọka no bro ndị Igbo no mwa no if feeling Obi Cubana is really afa onaza ife Igbo jikamba kedu ife o mere o ji webuli ife Igbo jikamba.
Okay, thank you very much. Again ndị by the emotional this response anenye is directly tied to their interpretation of his political choice. They are not doing it because they don't believe in the name. After all, Itulia, before Sinob a City Boy movement member.
Yes.
Obuza Sinob City Boy movement as a Zamba was if Ibo Jikamba.
Yes.
And so he had emotions not at play. Secondly, Obone Mon Watata, Egalaki can work the Obi Cubana.
Of course.
Gwazande ya don't know.
Of course.
Yes,
Dalo. Obi Cubana, lastly, because you are the chief of staff. In African governor na Emehon Anambra State, trying to teach us that Akajaja Nebutono Mano, coming against quick wealth and coming against some of these things that actually lure youth, pressure youth to go and do okay to get money and everything. Somebody made a statement. And then he now remarked and refreshed and then referenced what happened in Oba in 2021, one of the biggest burial that happened in the history of Ali Igbo, Obi Cubana's mother's burial, 46 cow, Somebody saying that when we hear one Ali Igbo that day, the type of display. I know a lot of people that went there uninvited just to go and show off. I think no that better like my friend the Aguto Okuko do you agree that very event that time when Hobu Nanibo based on everybody now wants to show off, it is Obi Cubana's friend, chief priest that introduced money and water. Some of these things are the pressures that we're talking about. Number 2021 social where sport now let me show off and then what him and some of his friends were doing sometime about money and water, that thing of because I say now and that's what some of his friends do. What do you have to say about some of these sentiments?
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Let me start from the government. If you go to my Facebook page on the day the governor took the oath of office, this second tenure, I ask people what do they think the governor should do, and I say for me, I think that he needs to sustain the social cleansing that he's doing in the states. That is to be able to explain to people now, you don't need to do okite, you don't need to do all manner of things and all of that. And after that, a lot of people have also argued, we also need to also look at religion, go to churches and see whatever we need to do. Mm-hmm. Now, coming to Obi Cubana's mother's burial, I will tell you again, what is Obi's business model? Obi's business model is such that he hovers around his friends. I was serving Nigeria in Burundi at that time when he buried his mom, but I had to come back to Nigeria. You know why? Obi Cubana attended the wake-up of my mother. Obi Cubana came for the burial of my mother. Obi Cubana attended the wake-up of my father. Obi Cubana attended the burial of my father. So you feel indebted to that person. If I run into trouble and I go to him, he solves the problem. So this is the kind of friends he has, that even people that were not his friends at that time, wanted to find avenue to identify with him at that time. Is the money sprayed good? Absolutely no. The money in which the way we are discussing money and water and all of that, are they good? Absolutely no. I do not agree with them. There are things we can do. And the thing is that as time goes on, I do not know the last time you saw Obi Cubana spray money anywhere. I don't know. I don't know whether you can recall or having him a video somewhere spraying money. Matter of fact, the FCC invited him that people sprayed him on during his birthday and they matched it. I think some videos had that way. But he's since corrected a lot of things. And the point with life is that as you grow, making mistakes are part of humanity, a part of human life. But what you now do with that mistakes is that you're expected to grow from it. All right, and make corrections. Like I said, you don't see him spraying money anymore. You also see that sometimes most of the things he gets involved are developmental projects that are helping create jobs. Go to the city, Cubana Millennium City that he's building in Asaba. How many people are working there?
Massive.
Do you know the impact of that in the economy of Delta State and of course that of Nigeria? You probably have over 2,000 people that are working there, that are earning a living there. That's the kind of impact you want to have. So even if Obi Cubana ihe bula ni Igbo be long time, it's on wagili. Mgbe ihe nwuna ni Igbo mgbe anyị si Professor Saide na azụ je nọdụ mgbe Oliver de Coke na Osadebe na etu hafa People's Club sikwa ndị a sịgwara a na-akpọ mmadụ afa and all of that, ego one ka iji and all of that. Don't bring Obi Cubana. Yes, that is when Igbo people started disrespecting knowledge and started respecting money. That's when it happens. If in case you don't know, oboro na eni mmadụ ma na eniro mmadụ onwe berobere ala eme gafe Obi Cubana na Zenko ke hediche Obi Cubana na ndị ọzọ. So oboro it's not that event that killed anything in Igbo land. Again, onye chọrọ ịba ulu ga-abụ ulu n'ụwa ọpụta. Ọ bụrụ na ị decide ya na mmadụ ga-etinye gị under pressure to go and start misbehaving, the consequences are there for you. I expect that ndị Igbo, onye ọbụla, that's why ndị wee bụrụ onye Enugu kwụrụ ọnụ. There are certain things that is expected of an average Enugu man. Ikwesị ịbụ onye na-agba mbọ. Ikwesị ịbụ onye nwe aka ọlụ. Ikwesị ịbụ onye nwe responsibility.
Healthy Living with Nonye Soludo initiative took up the challenge, knowing at the back of its mind that it can actually make a long-term difference with every little effort.
I'm super proud of what we have achieved in this taskling journey. The building up to the result before us today demanded a lot from us. As an NGO that is basically self-funded, Healthy Living with Nonye Soludo initiative took up this challenge, knowing at the back of our mind that we can actually make a long-term difference with the little efforts.
A month later, and due to increasing demands for the healthy pap, the distribution was stepped down to community levels through the nutrition focal persons in the primary healthcare centers in the state. Currently, Nonye's Healthy Living Pap hubs have been successfully set up in all the 326 primary healthcare centers in all the political wards in Anambra State, with regular restocking of each bank across the designated reception points.
You got to get the point. So that's what I think. Oburu onye like ya home training. Osi na chief priest dufuli ya na osi money na water. Oburu onye like ya home na osi money na water. How does that have to do with your own personal value as an individual? A society that chooses to insult elders, that people only be or anybody anyhow. How does money na water come to it? Mm-hmm. Do you understand my point? So I need it personally. You must personalize these things and understand it. People can make mistakes. Even you, I'm sure if you chronicle your life history, there will be some mistakes you made at some point and you correct it and move on. If there's anything that gave a wrong impression, I'm sure Obi Cubana knows and all of that. And he must have also corrected that. And if you also look at his profile, that's why Analu this Cubana Millennium City before that burial. Mm-mm. But he's doing it right now. He's doing quite a lot of things. He's also been part of enviable collection of, KK and all this logistics movement. These are trying to create jobs. These are things you do to be able to help other people, not necessarily because you want to collect more money. How many rooms can you sleep in? How many beds can you sleep in? How many cars can you drive at a time? It's just limited. You understand my point? So again, backing it, was he what given Ife Igbo Kamba? Enugu is the first town Chile Obi Cubana any echichi at all. Ọ na-azọ Okpole, ọ na-azọ Yankee, ọ na-aza Agbata Ozuora. But the first community with his achievements, Bolia Owekwe Kepunyopu as a titled person, Benuguku. So for someone of that caliber that has been turning down titles from across communities, what does it take for a community to give you a title? And as Onyenuguku, for example, I am Enuguku first. Go to other communities. I want to the community because once you go you are not supposed to now possible to find more ordinary other deal than Nanya. No, it's just on a target, Ibatazia, okay, no, Nezenkai, well, he got at the point. So that's why Ojibiago de Nuguku first, before Jezie Nabia, no, Oba, Weji and Coach as Obatozo Oba. You know, so Obori Hani Nabro, Obori for the Madiko Obi Cubana. With all create, he's going to support our education trust fund in the community that will make a lot of people to go to work. In Ajimo the Wadi, Ichifi Jikamba. Well, his kind of brand in terms of global visibility. You can argue, but that is the truth. You can even say you're not part of it, but that is the truth. It doesn't really change anything. For Samsung, which is a brand of a mobile phone, to come and use him as his #1 influencer in Nigeria, that tells you a lot. Igbo people should be afraid. So should be very proud of Nwahamuta. In the name of Obi Cubana. Anywhere. They can go and take the title anywhere. But we thought about it, and Enugu is a community that understands. I had anybody, go and find out.
Ibakegba. Esina Soludo bụ a senior city boy.
Yes, I have.
So just like
Soludo is a city boy. Governor of Ebonyi State is a city boy.
Yes.
Governor of Enugu State is a city boy. The grandfather of everybody, the Governor General, Governor Opuzodima, is also a city boy, grand city boy. And again, I also may say that even the governor of Abia State may be a city boy.
Abi?
Yes.
You are prophesying?
Absolutely. He has already said he has nothing against the election of Mr. President. So that means he's also a supporter. So a city boy, actually, Abrokwa, city boy is just a supporter of Mr. President. That's all it is.
Let's say that city boy is a product in your hand right now. Can you market it to Ndibo in few words?
Thank you very much. City boy, I know we have a support group now for Nigeria. And I know my ajulaju government be continuum. I know no head in aka government I choy with her. I na-ekwu na ọ bụ na anyị na gọọmenti nọ na the same page. Ihe anyị ewebata nwụ na Igbo ga-eri nne. Ọ bụrụ maka onye ga-abụ minista ma ego na ga-eweta. Kama na iweta project ga-ebe ka edozi ya n'Igbo. Ka n'Igbo wee bụrụ ebe ọ ga-abụ ndị Igbo nata ha nwee obi aṅụrị ha na-abata na n'Igbo. Ka n'Igbo bụrụ ebe ọ ga-aba abalụghị mba na Lagos ma abalụghị mba na Abuja ibulu akpa gị nata n'ụlọ. Maka gịnị anyị nwere industry, maka gịnị anyị nwere ezigbo hotel ma ịchọ nwe aṅụrị, maka gịnị anyị nwere Ọnịcha nwee nka. So ihe niile anyị ji eje bụ na ihe a na-achọ n'ike ọkụba azụ na anụ. O nwere ihe dị n'aka gọọmenti adị abala onye ji egbe mba. Ihe dị n'aka gọọmenti bụ anụ na azụ ị ga-eji wee dozi ya n'Igbo. Ihe ọ bụla anyị ga-eme ka anyị weta ya bụ ihe anyị ji anụlụ ọgụ na city boy. And city boy na-emekwa ya respectfully, understanding, with the full understanding that onye nọdụ ebe ọ nọ ya nọsie dị ya ike. Nke ọbụla ga-anọ anyị amachila akwa anyị na-ewunye n'ofu basket fụ na anyị asị ndị nọ na the other side, and anyị bụkwa nwanne, onwere ihe ọ nọchila anyị. Onye nke anyị winie anyị ka nọ na gọọmenti, onye nke unu winie unu ka nọ na gọọmenti. Ọ ka anyị Igbo wee dị maka anyị na-eme. Daalụ nri nne.
Gbagịgba daalụ nne. Enwe ya na-akpọ take your time na agba ma nwee nke ọbụla enwe ihe na-ekwuru ịchọ ijọs tinye obele ọnụ, ma ọ na-enwe nke ikwukwa ịchọkwa iremphasize, ma ọ bụ na enwe shout out ekene pụrụ iche inwe. Anyị chọ gbam is not just an interview session, is a therapy session. I chọ ịbịacha agbam kedu relieved. So ọ bụ na enwe ihe ọzọ it need add finally, please go ahead.
Ekwukwana m okwuri nne. Amakwara m na m anọta this time and spend the labor. Mana thank you very much Odogu for inviting me. Amam na interview ekwesịgo m ịbịa for a very long time. Mana ọ dabata na nna around wesi ka m bịa. So ekene ngiri nne. Ihe dị na Nigeria, ihe anyị na-ekwu egbe belo ugobelo nke si bi ebe na agosikwu ebe ọ ga-ebe nke akwakwana ya. Maka na ikwu amarọ ibe ga-esi. And onwere onye na-amacha ihe niile na-amacha ihe dị n'ụwa bụ n'ụwa na-eme ntụgharị ọsọgodi ha bụ pawa onwe mgbe Goodluck na-achị kịta ọnọzi na pawa enu mana ugo olu oyibo na-azụ isi ka a na-eti ọ dapụ ị na-agasịkwa ike na-eje ebe ị na-eje so onye ewede iwe na ndị city boy nọ maka anyị nọ ya nọsikwa ike o ka unu ekwerọ nwe ndị ekwerọ nwe ndị kwenụ and the truth of the matter bụ na gọọmenti ma likely ya ma ya likely ya ga na-aga n'iru every year a ga-eke ego Naijiria bụ ego mmadụ nchọ nwere ndị nwe ego ahụ iche so inwe ndị ọnụ n'olu n'okwu nwee ndị nọ na pawa ọ ka ọ dị mma ka ọ dịla everybody mma enwe onye a ga-enye ọlụ ọ bụrụ na m ga-alụzi ụdị ọlụ anwa onwe onye a ga-enye grant ọ bụrụ na m nwa enidọrọ m ụdị grant ahụ onwe onye a ga-ebunye moto enidọrọzi m ụdị moto ahụ onwe onye a ga-ebunye sewing machine so ihe anyị na-ekwu bụ ka anyị nọdụ n'ebe ọnụ ga-elu anyị n'okwu ka anyị nọdụ ebe ọ ga-abụ ndị ọzọ na-aba mba anyị a na-aba mba Igbo without ndị Igbo na Nigeria abụọkwa Nigeria ndị Igbo nwere investment everywhere na Nigeria ije n'ugwu Hausa every community batania ndị Igbo nọdụ ọgbọkwasọ na ha nọdụ ya lụọ ụlọ nọdụ ya lụọ ụzọ nọdụ ya na-eme ezigbo business ọ na Nigeria na anyị spendezi anyị kabakwa arụ mechi ha niile ụfọdụ ụlọ ụlọ na Kano ụlọ na Lagos alụbekwa be nna ha mmadụ bịazi na-asị gị ga-ekwe na ihe ọbụla ha kwute ga-ekwe na mba ebe onye bi ka ọ na-awachi mana nke bụ na ka e ga-esi wee solve this problem na anyị ga-anatagoro doziwe be anyị dozicha be anyị nwee option ka ọ ga-abụ achụọ akpasu ogi webe a ije ebe ọzọ bilibulu akpa gị sị mba na inwere ụlọ and onye ma na inwere ụlọ amasị gị get out ebe ị nọ onye ma na inwere na idozi beg of mama si get out everywhere so ana m ekene ndị gbam for inye m this opportunity ịbịa here kọọ akụkọ maka City Boy na-ekwukwa na nọmba m dị available onye aghọtara onwe ajụjụ ọzọ ọ chọrọ ịjụ ya jụọ m na mma akọwanwu maka nkọwa na-adị m mma n'ọnụ and ihe niile nna ana m echi ọfụma mgbe anyị nwa bụ ndị nọ APC before APC adị fashionable ihe a kịta ma gọvanọs na-ekwu kịta ka eje senta ka eme partnership afọ m ihe a long time ago I joined him APC 2017 and have been consistent on the matter so ihe ọbụla that I have seen I have analyzed it I have looked at it that it is better for us to form a partnership with the center so that we can get better dividend for our people sometimes people say mba no maka na ịchọ ka ịbụla ambassador na maka alụgoro m ambassador na ime ewepụzi his excellency na my name even ozu m dolugoro ebe a kịta you must still address my corps as his excellency so that's not the issue is that you get to a point where once you continue to think about yourself, you don't get the point. There's always a higher calling. The point is that you must understand that you are here to make impact. And your responsibility is to make a place better than you met it. Adam Shaw, when you came to this place was not like this. You put this to make it better. That's the way God created us. If you are in a place and that place is not better on the account of your being there, then you have become very useless. So try us and see. If the president wins and we are unable to hold us responsible with our words, because our point is that there are things government has been doing and there are benefits that has been going to other regions that we are not taking advantage of. And it's not about who becomes the president or who doesn't become the president. And most importantly, eme ngwa emeghala ọdachi ịkwụla ọtọ gbuji eji ibende down wee bupụ ya. Onye ị na-akpalite ata ị ga-ejekwa echi wee sị ya biko ya meelụ gị nka. Onye ị na-akpalite ata ga-ejekwa echi si ya biko nyela ya aka mee nka. Tribe ị na-akpalite ata na ha weta president ga-ejekwa echi si ha ngwa ka emezie na partnership maka nke agbaka nka. Ọ na-adịkwa mma ka ejidele detala ọfọ mmiri. Ọ ga-adịkwa mma echi niile ma anyị sị na mgbe olu ụtọ unu na anyị support unu kịta na ọtọ ọnụ anyị support ọnụ anyị. Inwekwa ike refer back to ihe emelu ndị ọzọ ma ogbo nna ya ọnụ ha ma ọsị ya ma ọsịlị ya mana nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ada enye power enye enye negotiation ka ị ga-emegide ọ baa aka iweli ya wee dozie but again malụkwa amalụ na onwerọkwa guarantee na unu bụlụ nka na nke a ga-eme na unu bụlụ nka ị na-anya a better way of predicting the future is to reflect on the past. Once you look at the past, there are patterns that always repeat itself. Bongo trouser and yikita, my father yilia, afro maka na ebukita, our parents bul afro. So there's really nothing new under the sun. These things go in cycles. Whatever happened yesterday will repeat itself tomorrow. Onwe a big man or big man amoto maka di lazy, amoto maka na ata from afo hamwali he. It's a cycle that always repeats itself. So for me, it's important that I chelu chiche fuma. Onye na habu agwara ya wa no wotre otutu oku mistake na dia ọ bụ na iche echiche ọfụma ịghọta na action ọ bụ na ị na-eteke ma okwu ọ bụ na ị na-ekwu onye kwu unu chezọ onye agwala ada echefu otu a ka ọ dị ma mọda gwa amịa nne m gwa amịa onye kwu okwu na ada echezọ mana onye agwala ada echefu so okwu dịka ube m apa mma ikwuru ya egbunye dị a somebody echetakwa gị chinekwa na ikwu ebezisizi ya na ịdị sorry my father sị kama nkịta m ga-atagbu nke onye ọzọ nke ntagbuo ka nkwụ ụgwọ imechia something today na-achị azụ echi na-esi na ịdị sorry na maka nke a na maka nke a ọ dịrọkwa mma and onye ahụ ị na-agwazi eche na ọ ga-echefu mana that's by the way my point bụ na in all of this we need to respect one another. I think that's the most important thing. A na-ekwu onwe ha na-akpọ home training asị na mmadụ laki home training home training bụ na onwe ife okenye ka okenye kwụ ọtọ ibunye ọtọ ma ọ bụ na ị na ọnọdụ anyị ụmụaka da akpali okenye onwe certain things anyị na-emezi these days ga-abụ mfu ya for a clear deviation of the nature of the culture of Igbo people. Ndị Igbo bụ ndị na-agba mbọ. Ndị Igbo bụ ndị na-agba mbọ. Ndị Igbo bụ ndị mma what to do to be able to. Ndị Igbo abụrụ ndị na-eme ego mbute si anọ. Ihe abụrụ a culture even though it has come in and I think that the government is doing a lot of work to be able to see that he fights against this thing so that we can begin to understand na ike adịrọ n'ọgwụ, ike adịrọ n'okiti, ike adịrọ na any of those things. And these days ọ bụ na asịrọ na ịgwọrọ ọgwụ ego inwe ike asịkwa na ide emete ya because I remember when I adọkata one of my cousins nwa sị na aka m dị n'ife gbuli ya mụba amụ because people won't see me when I stay late in the night to read. People won't see me when I travel all over the world to acquire knowledge. People won't see you when you're doing the hard work, but once it looks like there's light at the end of the tunnel ọ bụ na ọgwụ ka ịgwọ and these things are normal but my point is that oti mkpu na-eti mgbake ya ma meji n'ife mmadụ. You can be shouting, it can be shouting. I know that the cause I'm embarked on is for the people and is the right cause. So it doesn't really matter. The end, they say, will always justify the means. So I thank Bam for giving me this platform. God bless you guys.
Yeah, shout out na Bam. Gwafa gafane ekele Bam. Gafane swela na Bam.
Ndibai, I've had a good time here. And I'm very much impressed with the work Bam is doing. Quite a lot of people have given you good shout-outs. Ejimofo Para, Obi tries, and then I'll with government. They think you are doing quite a lot. And I do agree with them. And even because the only way to promote ourselves is to also ensure that that is the kind of help he needs. Also, on and chukwu chọ nyelu mmadụ aka ọ na mmadụ ka ọ na-esi so nene na ihe a na-stream ya hancha niile bụ ka ọganiru bụ maka ọganiru ndị Igbo hancha niile bụ ka odogwu ga-esi wee dị biga ịfụrụ na ọma bụ mma nwoke bifo mana kịta ọ makalize so onwe ihe ọ bụla unu ga-eme ka unu wee na-akwado nenebenu gbam ife niile na-ada gbam thank you very much.
Just like I told you the first time I contacted you that I admire you. You're my guest. I don't agree, but just like you say, tolerance.
I don't even expect you to agree to everything. Just like I will not also agree to everything you say, but I will respect your opinion.
Yes. I say na uzo de mma.
Yes.
We ga obodo na abo. Nya me mmadụ aja hope n'ụzọ dị mma.
Enwere olileanya n'ụzọ dị mma agaghị ịbọ.
Because mgbe ị na-ekwu okwu esi ka anyị nwale unu malụ ma ọ ga-agaba. Ịmana ụfọdụ ga-asịkwa na awan Lego before. Ịmana Tinubu si anyị na ọ bụ na onye anyị 24-hour light supply. Anya evote ka n'ọzọ. Ifo na nke awa ọkụrụ.
Nke mbụ bụ na vote bụ there before. So if we don't quiz vote another one.
So no like on agwa.
Amba vote before so I joke na do. But the point is that like I said, it's always important to understand what government is doing at every point in time. Oko, organic government name maka Oko. They've even decentralized it. Onye ọbụla bụ onye Anambra keta, I'm sure na ebe anwe ike ọbụla na-run generator. We are all generating electricity. 98% of Nigerians generate electricity by ourselves. Do you understand the point? But government have decentralized it. Initially, only had an exclusive list. Both the federal government name. And now it's off exclusive list. Now in concurrent list. Meaning that any state can generate power. If you go to Aba now, geometric power is generating power there. And there will be quite a lot of development. And understanding that government policies are not what you make today and the impact is felt today. The president hasn't even been in power for 3 years, remember. So it's not like it's forever. The president has been in power for 2 years and 10 months approximately. So it is May 29 this year, that will make him 3 years. And you have another 1 year. So it's not like all hell has broken loose. The question is, are we doing the right things?
On the right track.
Issue relating with security. Do you think state police will address it? I think yes. I think irrespective of the challenges with state policing, he's addressing it. It will help us address security. Issues relating with dollar. and all of that. Initially, they say it was 700, but don't forget that time I go 700, one day they go 400, one day they go 300. And we have about 4 or 5 different exchange rates. Then they Hajj, go look at then they Christian pilgrimage, go look at different price. Then they go officially, go different price. Then they go to black market, go different. Nobody does that. What it is that a Malo CBN governor will only get 200 million naira at the lowest rate. If you put it in a market, it lasts 700. Who does that? That is rent seeking. So if you leave it to the market, let the market today difference between official rate and normal exchange rate are too crazy. For fuel subsidy. That is the reason why the inflation also came up. At some point, this time last year, year on year, March last year, inflation was at 27%. Year on year, inflation this March is at 15.1%. So things will naturally spiral up, but they will eventually come down. You know why? Because remember, it was subsidy. A lot of people ask, go subsidy. Ego Anambra State before fuel subsidy was removed is now times 3 or 4 that amount. So it basically means that there is now more money in the hands of governors and local government chairmen. The truth of the matter is that in Nigeria, everybody does not understand that there is distribution of labor. Just as you have in government, executive legislators and the judiciary. In government, there is federal government, there is state government, and there is local government. Ego Batana Nigeria, and that money between 55% of something percent goes to federal government. The other ones are shared between states and the local government. Federal road, one state road, one local government road. A federal road is a road that links one state to another. A state road links one local government to another. A local government road links one community to another. Without understanding that the road you're applying in us is on a local government road, who should actually take responsibility for dealing with that road?
The mayor.
So the thing is that we need to understand. Local government chairman or councillor they use ego. For the governor, say a big guide. Everything Mary is Tinubu what Tinubu Asro. But Tinubu only has a responsibility with a certain percentage of the funds that come into the federal government coffers. So we need to understand it. That's why, even from City Boy's perspective, the challenge and the objective is to continue to educate people, continue to explain to them, because onyenjenje.
Na konyisawo. Dalo continuation na kaiga konuga count on our support, okay? We are here to provide platforms to people like you.
Thank you very much.
Obi Cubana is a big brother, yes. And whether we like it or not, he's the pride of Ndi Igbo, or somebody that has endeared himself to the heart of Ndi Igbo. And what on oje keego mo today when it's before we started professing this love. No, na emotions we hear.
When we're part of love, sometimes right? when your wife has taken a decision that you don't like, you can be throwing tantrums everywhere. But after some time, I resolve all these things. So it's tough love. You usually see that sometimes when wife is misbehaving, it's because he loves the husband has decided to look elsewhere, and there are things that they feel they are next. So these things happen. It's an emotional relationship. And usually you get that from who loves you. So I understand they don't agree with his position, but I'm saying that they should give him benefit of the doubt. I'm saying that they should allow his decision to take some time. And I'm also saying that leave that part of the decision. Actually, after my father, Akata Njongwata. If that Akata Njongwata mean, bo ekata Njongwata neme, kata wumo neme. So over each time, na chronicle here, ojo madu neme. Omokwe ezibu ihe. So sometimes when I quarrel with my wife, I say, you didn't do this, you forgot about this, you didn't do this. You know, at is okay, at some point. And finally, let me say shout out to my wife, because sometimes it's important. If she is listening, I'm sure she will hear. It's important to understand that she's been a very strong pillar of support. I've been married for 20 years now. So having a woman stay with you for that long, raising children and doing all of the things that I'm doing, running up and down across the world, across the country, and she's holding steadfast. So she deserves a lot of credit. So because if yourself now, if you know her, you know that she's the loveliest woman you can ever meet. So she's done a lot of good job.
Wife.
Yes, I'm actually Afiabu Chief. Iyom. Her Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Elijah Udochukwu Elijah Onyeagba. Iyom Ugochinyele di ya n'Enugu no muri. Aye. Ekenekwa m gi. Unye gbakegba ekene gi.
Unye gbakegba dalere. Thank you for standing behind this wonderful man. Emana ụfọdụ ụmụ nwanyị na say I want a great man. Can you face what great men bring because great men are busy.
And no, I actually wasn't a great man before my wife married me.
But now you are.
Yes, I am. She's also a great woman, to be quite honest. And I think that she does a lot more work. Even though I like to take the credit, but she's doing a lot more work that I'm doing, to be quite honest. Because understanding a man like me is very complicated. And also standing as my lieutenant and doing all the things. And if you go to my house now, I want to do something, my wife will obviously act. She knows what I'll do in every situation. And so I'm not really that bothered. If I go out, I know she will do the right thing, you know. So it's fine. She's done an amazing job. So I'm a marriage counseling now. So where's what can you marriage counseling? 20 years. I've worked 20
but
years.
20 even for 20 years. You go an authority somehow, somewhat.
Now, yeah, so
thank
you very much.
Thank you very much. We wish you luck in your
political career,
future political endeavors,
and City Boy movement. Please
City Boy, we wish you people luck.
Thank you very much.
We wish you people. We must not agree to disagree.
Absolutely.
Even
if we don't, we'll disagree to agree.
Yes, yes, we disagree to agree. Ana m ekenekwa Oga South East Coordinator Ife Igbo Jikamba. Daalụ nri na-ekenekwa Akwa State Coordinator unu. N'oso Ozemena. Ugogbe Anam.
Ezigbo mmadụ.
Daalụ. Mgbe ọbụla mkpọrọ anyị oku.
Mgbe a ga-akpọ gị very soon, very soon, mana Easter self maka ndị na-asị bụ ndị si kpakọrọ ọnụ ụfọdụ ndị na-agba afa kịta ha bụrụ ndị ala ha ha na-eme ije na villages ha jụọ ihe ha na-eme agwa gị na ọ bụrụ ndị ala
abi
maka ndị kpọrọ anyị ndị ala ya adasakwa anyị sochi ugwu egbebelu ugobelu
kesi
bi ebe na ya gosi ebe ọ ga-ebe.
Yes, we're here for everyone. So far no ife ga-adịlị ndị Igbo mma. Ndị village boy bịakwuo nsogbu adara, city boy bịakwuo, ndị street boy bịakwuo.
Mana mma like one day ofu ụbọchị gbam kpọkene onye village boy kpọ street boy ka anyị makene dị nkata.
Akwa ya? Ka nwa?
Abụrụ ịtụtụ aka sef ka anyị because ọ na-adị mma.
Ọ dị ka ọnwa, ọ dị ka mgbe akpọ Elijah na mma ndị Baal, you know.
Mgbe ọ na-adị mma onye bịa si na onwe ihe ọ chọrọ okwu. Maka okwu ya ịma ya asị mmadụ ekwu na ịmago ọsụkọsọ adọrọ mma rapịa ka okwu cha mma asanwụ.
Village boy nye na anyị mmadụ. This is an open
invitation.
Okay.
Yes.
Please, this is an open invitation. Ndị village boy movement. Nye na anyị mmadụ ka anyị kpaa nkata ka anyị magodi.
Kpaa nkata ụkata ụmụ nwanne.
Yes.
Maka na izu ka mma na nneji. Correct.
Very important. Daalụ nne gbaka ịgba.
Thank you.
Ndị be anyị ebe a ka ga-eweta na njedebe n'oge gbam tata anyị na-ekene His Excellency Ambassador Elijah Onyeagba ọzọ mkpu ike Enugu Ukwu na Ụmụnri ịgbaka ịgba. Thanks for coming. Ndị be anyị ngwanụ afa m ka bụ Chukwujioke Igwendu Odogwu ya mbaba ezigbote onye Aba ka o mesịa nụ udo. Good news. From anywhere you are in the world, you can now be our guest on BAM. As long as you have an internet connection and a mobile device, you can now be interviewed from our studio anywhere in the world. Contact the numbers on your screen to book a session with us.